What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Marinaut podcast, the only podcast by apes for apes. This is the first episode we recorded in over a month, actually. The last one, episode 13 with Jaddy, went up December 7th, which means we had to have recorded it the week prior. So it's been almost 2 months since we've last done anything.
Dang.
We did do
the hectic 2 months.
Yeah, we did the Roblox video, and then that was it, right?
We did the Roblox video, and then I put out 2 video essays. So we've been uploading still. We're not gone. We just haven't done a podcast in a bit.
And now it's time to talk about monkeys and apes.
This is the monkey special.
Yeah. Up first on the docket is the King Kong versus Godzilla trailer. I've seen it. I've seen the trailer. I don't think you two have. So you should watch it right now. Get on it.
Can we talk about why Godzilla's holding an axe, an actual axe, like a weapon?
Wait, he's holding an axe?
When he's like coming down at Godzilla, Godzilla's blasting him with his like minty fresh ice ray. He's got like battle axe.
The thing Thor has.
Oh yeah.
It's got Thor's axe.
Maybe this movie will be good after all.
All right, first impressions. That didn't look good. I didn't like that.
No.
I mean, it's just generic.
It looked really generic. I'll tell you, okay, I'll say this much. I really enjoyed Kong Skull Island simply because of the visuals of it. I don't know who like the color grader was, but like, the colors in that movie were really cool. But the rest of that movie sucked so bad. That was such a bad movie.
I agree, dude. I remember you saying that when we saw it like years ago. I remember you saying that you liked the colors in that movie, and it does have good colors. But I liked Samuel L. Jackson in that movie. Do you remember him when he was like, "I hate King Kong. What a motherfucker," and then like burned him alive almost to death? That was the good part of the movie, I think.
That happened? Is that real?
Yeah, no, I'm not kidding. That's real. I don't remember a lot of that movie, but I distinctly remember that.
Is that when they're in like the bone graveyard?
That's the scene I remember. It's like the graveyard with like the gas, right?
Yes, yeah.
Oh,
There's like
and the dinosaur
poison
thingies.
Yeah, it's got like body gas.
Oh, and the Sully, the monster from
James P. Sullivan, John Goodman.
Him. Yeah, he gets eaten in that scene. They eat him. They just like grab him and eat him in like one gulp. It's awesome.
That movie sucked. I liked the first Godzilla movie a little bit. Like I thought that was like a decent, like I'd give it like a 6 or 7. Like it was a passing film. The second Godzilla, King of Monsters, was the least engaging movie I think I've ever seen.
It was tough to watch.
I don't even remember like what happened. I think I've seen them all too.
Oh yeah, we have. It's where he fights like
it's just fighting, right? That's all they do in the movie.
Yeah,
it's just CGI fights.
Well, there's like the human plot in Godzilla, the King of the Monsters.
Okay,
who cares? Like nobody can even remember the human plot because it's so insignificant and it doesn't even like have any kind of emotional like draw to it at all. It's just so cheesy and like bad. It's like, why even have it in the movie? The movie would have been better if it was just the fighting, to be honest. I think it would have been a better movie.
I don't care about the humans. I really don't. I don't care about them.
The closest they had was in the first one with Bryan Cranston, where he like worked in the nuclear place.
Who was the guy who like sacrificed himself for Godzilla? He like went into like a nuclear.
Oh, the Japanese guy who went like underwater.
Yeah. Which movie was that?
That's King of Monsters, I think.
Yeah, that was the King of Monsters.
Okay, what's the one where Godzilla like breathes down, like he like opens the mouth and like breathes like his lightning into the villain? You know what I'm talking about?
One.
That's the first. I just got the image of like one human doing that to another human, just like breathing into someone's mouth.
No, that's nasty. No,
that's disgusting.
Nice sound effect for it. Bad movies all around. Well, I think the first one's fine.
Let's rate them out of 10.
I mean, could you make a Godzilla movie like actually like 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10 though?
Oh, you could, yeah. Think? Well, here's the thing. The first Godzilla movie was panned by critics. Like the original, critics didn't like it.
What do you mean? Which original? Like the really old one? You mean?
Yeah. They thought it was offensive because it came out like 20 years after Hiroshima. And critics were like, that's really uncool to do this, which is understandable. But also, they just thought it was a bad movie. And granted, it kind of is, like, from a story perspective and all that. Like from a film perspective, like, it's not great. It's got themes to it, like the themes of, like, you know, the effects of war and stuff. Because Godzilla is this, like, creation from radiation, and so it's kind of this it embodies like post-nuclear weapon kind of fear, so that's really cool, but yeah, other than the fighting, it kind of sucks.
Yeah. You pretty much summed it up.
So what about what about Mothra? Is that also a nuclear
Dude,
like, why did they do that? Why did they just put a giant insect in the movie?
Oh, they wanted more monsters. I think they gave up on artistic integrity.
Yeah, no, it was totally that. It was like, you know, let's just make sequels. It doesn't, like, just put more monsters in. Kind of lose the themes of, like, war and suffering and nuclear terror. Yeah, get that out of there. Just put the fighting in. But get a big 3-headed guy. Put him in the movie. Get a dude with some blades. Put him in. You know, that's what Godzilla is at heart. Just big monsters fighting.
I watched one at Patrick's house. I think it was like the 4th or something, and it had Mothra. But all I remember is in black and white, and these two like miniature Japanese women. And I don't mean like they were short. I mean like they were miniature, like shrunk down effects, exactly CGI. Who kept talking about how like badly they wanted an egg, like I think Mothra's egg. It was horrible. It was such a bad movie.
I do remember seeing that with you too.
Yeah, you remember that?
Didn't we watch like a bunch of them too? A bunch of
them?
I'm trying to think of like other things that like traumatized me as a kid now, because I think that's a good subject.
Oh, like stuff like
do you have anything? Yeah.
That scared me as like a movie that scared me as a kid?
Or like anything really that just like horrified you as a kid.
Or something you watched that you like maybe shouldn't have at that age.
My parents were pretty strict. That's the thing.
You didn't get away with it?
I can't really think of. There's got to be something. I just can't think off the top of my head.
I've got one.
I have one thing.
Oh, nice.
The fib from Veggietale scared me so much. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
Is that the plant? No, that's the rumor weed.
No, that's the rumor weed. Yeah, it's like the big blue blob thing.
Yeah,
I'm gonna look up a picture of it. I'll include it in the editing.
The more that kid lied, the more like the fib
like kept growing and stuff. I didn't like it.
That episode was kind of scary. It didn't terrify me, but that episode was scary, dude. I remember that. Like, it was thrilling. At least I kind of liked it.
It was thrilling, at least.
at the very least,
it was like cosmic horror. It was literally like an alien.
Yeah, that is like by definition, you're not wrong. That is cosmic horror.
It was like an alien that came to Earth and like grows off like your lies. It's creepy.
Wait, it looks like a blueberry. It looks like a blue coronavirus. But it kind of grows into like a blob, like the one from Monsters vs. Aliens, but with feet.
Oh yeah! Wow, that is not how I remembered it looking at all. Oh my god, that animation's terrible.
Oh, I scrolled down. I hardly scrolled down. I think I found vore art. Yep, I did. It's a Veggietale's vore subreddit. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? It's like 10 photos down. The top post is, why does this subreddit exist?
I can't find it. Where are you seeing this?
I looked up Veggietale's fib, and then I scrolled down a little bit, and then wow, almost all the art is the fib, except for this one, which is Bob and Larry get consumed by Sans and Papyrus from Undertale. Pretty well drawn.
Link it in the chat, dude. I gotta see.
Yeah, link it. I gotta see this too.
Oh, I sent it on my phone. I can pull it up on the computer. It's kind of scary to think that like people are fetishizing a children's Bible show. I don't want to look this up on my
Nothing's
school.
safe.
This is gonna come up on like my school's like search history. Which one do you want? Do you want the the Fib scrumptiously devours Larry boy?
Please.
Click that link and you'll see it.
Oh my god. I feel like I shouldn't.
3
click this
users
link.
here, and it's
There's
probably
there's 3
us.
online at this moment. Oh, it is probably us.
It's just literally us. This one just says God is unhappy. Why does this subreddit exist? God is unhappy.
I got on Reddit. I was awarded with the Wholesome Award from some kind stranger.
Really?
Yeah, for because I posted the Breath of the Wild video in there.
Oh,
And I got the
really?
Wholesome Award. Yeah, which by the way, thank you to all the viewers who watched that and gave it a like. That's really cool of you guys. That was very nice of you.
Okay. Go check it out. It's a great video.
Yeah, go check it out. I was so
Go give it
worried
a
to
like.
post it.
I'm glad you did, dude. I think it's awesome. I think it's fucking insane.
I was worried because I made a Trump joke very early on. It wasn't. I mentioned Trump in a joke. The joke was essentially, I'm very tired of like low level basic observational humor, like haha, 2020 bad. And I was like, I'm so sick of jokes like these. And that includes like the Orange Man bad kind of humor. But I was like, are people going to interpret this as me like trying to take a political stance? It wasn't. It was. I'm glad no one interpreted that way.
Yeah. We're good at
Which is
staying
nice.
politics free on the Marinaut channel. We've never once crossed
Yeah,
any
we've done our
sort of
best.
line.
done
Yeah,
our
we've done
best.
pretty well.
We have done really well.
Except for that one time, the story, the unmentionable
Oh, yeah.
one.
The redacted story. Yeah. Oops.
Lost file. If we ever get like a big cult following, like a big following in general, people are going to be looking for that. They're going to want to know.
I think about this all the time because we've stated that we want to keep our identities like at least somewhat secretive. But I think all the time, like if we gain enough viewers, like they could easily track us down. I feel like.
You think?
I think we've put enough breadcrumbs out there that they can just start like snooping.
I thought you did a good job editing, Anthony.
I edit out a bunch of stuff, but like I think if they click through the comments enough, like they can connect the dots and be like, well, this person's connected to this person and they're sub to him. They can manage it, I feel.
If some sleuth got on there and really wanted to figure out,
It would have to be some like Einstein, dude.
Or if
it'd be Sherlock Holmes.
Or if you go to Taco's channel and listen to him discuss his life.
Oh man.
Yeah. You just watched that video, yeah.
Yeah, I think Taco gives his full name.
Does he really?
I don't know.
That's funny. They're gonna like look us up and they're gonna find out who we are and they're gonna be like, oh my god, these dudes are so fucking boring. Like,
Nothing special about us.
These dudes are just 3 regular ass white dudes.
Yeah, well, I feel like I don't know. Like there's nothing special about us. I feel no need to put myself out there. I'm not trying to hide my past or anything. Like we're not out here like they can't know about us. I just
no.
If this is like a fun side project for me, and if it takes off, that's fantastic. And if it doesn't, like I don't want this to be something that holds us back in life. Like people pull up the Marinaut channel.
They're like, this is why you cannot be hired. Actually, it's because of the story in this episode. We actually found the real audio and we listened to it. So you're kind of done for. That's what I'm afraid is going to happen.
Can you imagine going into a job interview, Teddy, and they like pull up our review of Godzilla and they're like, is this you? Can you identify yourself here?
That's what I'm scared about with like all those videos. Like they're gonna pull that up and they're gonna be like, just explain this. And I'm gonna be like, dude, I have no way to explain this.
It's like that Jacksepticeye video of him in class. You know what I'm talking about, Anthony?
The first video on the Jacksepticeye channel is him in class, and he just like shrieks. He's filming himself for like 2 seconds, staring into the camera, and then he just lets out this like banshee wail, and everyone in the class turns to him, and the video ends immediately.
Oh, no way! Oh my god, I can totally see that with him though. That's hilarious. Okay, I get it. I want to find it. Oh my god.
Jacksepticeye was one of the first channels. I know it's like the hipster thing of like, oh, I found it before it was cool, but I did find Jacksepticeye very early on to his career, and I was like, this guy's great. Jacksepticeye was my Markiplier. The average person had Markiplier, and then I had a young Jacksepticeye, and then I stopped watching him, and I came back and was like, oh, this guy blew up. He's huge now.
I just never watched him.
I watched him when he played like Skate 3, I think, or like Far Cry 3. It was a while back.
I don't think I've ever watched Jacksepticeye. Like, I don't think I've ever watched a full video. I'm gonna be honest, guys. Besides this one right now, him screaming in class.
Did you like
That's
it?
the only one I've seen. Yeah,
I love it. Oh, his
It's a
smile.
very funny clip. Is he smiling?
He's got like a spider smile in that video. That's really crazy looking. He's like,
Jacksepticeye would be such a good Joker. He's got the green hair. Can we cast him as Joker?
yeah, let's do it. Do you think he could do an American accent, or would he just be an Irish Joker?
I'd be okay with an Irish Joker, because it's like Gotham is like New York. That'd be a cool backstory, like, oh, he's the son of an immigrant. Although that was like the 1860s, so I don't know.
We'll make it just 1860s Batman.
That'd be kind of cool,
Civil
like a
War
steampunk Batman. Batman's out fighting Confederate soldiers. Joker's the head of the Confederate army.
Holy shit. Come on.
He already wears gray. He sometimes wears gray.
Yeah, no, he's perfect for it.
Yeah, Batfleck.
Batfleck, bring back Batfleck.
Oh, can we talk about the new Justice League trailer or whatever?
Is there a new one?
No. But so there's the Justice League movie. It came out. It was awful. I watched it on a plane. That did not affect my experience at all, so don't make that argument. It was just bad. And one of the characters was... Who the was he? He had, like, spikes. He's, like, gray, and he stole a cube. He stole, like, the cube.
Oh.
What's that guy's name? That's how you know your movie's terrible. I can't remember your villain. Was it Darkseid? Dark Matter?
No, it was, like... Matterhorn. Or just like no.
Matterhorn. It's a ride at Disney World. What is his name?
Steppenwolf.
Steppenwolf. And he looked bad. He looked like a poor man's Thanos. It was bad. And then the Snyder Cut, a trailer came out, and they showed the redesigned Steppenwolf. And Jesus Christ, I have never seen a worse character design. He's covered in tiny little quills like a hedgehog, but he's got the face of like a hammerhead shark with a horrible, horrible disease.
I gotta look at
so there's zero visual clarity. I can't tell who it is or what it is. It hurts to look at, and I have no desire to watch that on the big screen.
He does look like a hammerhead shark. What is this?
Oh,
he's covered with just spikes.
Yeah, they just gave him like more spikes to make him
looks
scarier.
so bad.
Why the gray skin? Like the gross, discolored skin with like silver, like grayish spikes. Like, why do that? They did it both times with both designs.
There's no visual clarity. If you want a good character design, you would have the silver scales and then something to contrast that as the skin. So I can look at it and know where the armor ends and where the skin begins. He is this weird mass of just like clay, like necrotic skin. It's such a bad design.
Gross. Really
Did they try to give him the Thanos chin too?
He does kind of have the Thanos
He
chin.
kind of has one.
All good
like-
villains have a chin.
They tried to sneak that in. I can see.
Yeah, seriously. Because, like, compared to Thanos, like, Thanos is a CGI character, but, like,
Yeah.
they put so much work into making him look like a believable entity. And Steppenwolf just... What the fuck?
Steppenwolf looks like
That's all I gotta say.
tinfoil. It looks
Oh,
like
I
a
don't know, dude.
tinfoil
Thanos
man.
looks. It's like a perfect design. I don't know why.
Thanos, because
It
you
is.
know, you look at him and the purple. So purple and yellow are contrasting colors, I think. Don't quote me on that. And so that means that, like,
Sure.
when they're next to each other, it makes the other look more whatever. So, like, purple next to yellow, purple look more purple, and the yellow look more yellow because, like, opposite wavelengths. And so
Very
when you look at
nice.
him and his gold armor, you know where the armor ends and begins, and you see the skin, and it's so good. And this is, Steppenwolf looks terrible.
It looks bad. Did you see the look for Darkseid, who's apparently in this movie too?
What was Darkseid in the original?
He was in. No, he was. I think Zack Snyder, God bless him and his brilliant vision. I think he was originally planning to have Darkseid be like some sort of like Thanos reveal in his original Justice League movie. Like at the end, like Darkseid would be like, "Hey, I'm the bad guy." And I think when whoever took over Justice League, they just like cut him out. So then I think kind of in like retaliation, I think he's just putting him in the actual movie, like in the cut that he's making now. I just think he's adding in a scene with Darkseid. And he looks so stupid. So let me just link this image.
The Snyder Cut is such a bad idea because I think over this past decade, the films that have come out have been so reactionary, if you know what I mean. Like, the films produced by Hollywood have been so based around the responses to other films, like how The Last Jedi was essentially a response to The Force Awakens, and then The Rise of Skywalker was a response to The Last Jedi. And so the Justice League Snyder Cut just feels like Snyder's screw you to Hollywood, which, like...
It is. No, that's like literally that.
That looks awful. Oh my god.
Dude, he just looks like a
gray Thanos.
Clay human, shirtless human.
Yeah, but that's cool, Patrick. That's badass.
He's not even scary looking at him. I guess Thanos isn't really scary when you look at him, but like,
but Thanos looks like a human. Thanos looks like he could exist.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's a big purple man. So that's saying a lot.
I give so much credit to the team for making Thanos as believable as he was.
Yeah. Like, it's not even comparable. It's not even comparable.
It's also like the setting he's in the image too is like so nasty. It just doesn't look good.
Yeah, that's a very bad design. I'm such a, like, I love a good character design. That makes me lose my mind.
And these are not, dude, then just don't watch DC movies at all anymore. I think
I remember
most people have stopped by now.
The Flash, when that was first revealed in whatever movie that was, Batman vs Superman, he looked like he was like wearing red duct tape, and he came out of like a lightning bolt, and I had no idea what was happening. And he had like long hair, and he was screaming stuff that was inaudible, and then he disappeared. I was so confused.
Did you see Suicide Squad? Oh my god, I want to spit when I say that name. And it's like it's personal to me because like when I saw it as like a young man, teenager, I loved it because I was a DC shill. So now it like pains me to even have to think about that goddamn movie. But yeah, he was in Suicide Squad, I think. And he like showed up and like Captain Boomerang was there and he was like robbing a bank or whatever. And he was like, "Oh, I'm Captain Boomerang." And then the Flash came in and like knocked him over, but then like said some sort of one-liner where he was just like, I'm the Flash. And then like he left. And it's like, why'd you even put that in the movie? Why was that even in the movie?
They're trying to build a universe in like a year. Like, we got to
He
introduce
literally-
everybody. Throw the Flash in.
And he was in Batman versus Superman, like you said. Like, do you remember how I only remember this because like it was just so vivid to me the way they announced the Justice League and their like shared universe. It's just they open whoever he is, fucking the bad guy, Jesse Eisenberg, Mark Zuckerberg was fucking. He like opens a laptop and there's just a bunch of files, and he just clicks on one that has the Wonder Woman. Yeah, and he clicks on one that has the Wonder Woman logo, and it's like Wonder Woman, and he clicks on the Flash logo, and it's the Flash, and he clicks, and like so on, and it's like you want to compete with Marvel, and like the way you introduce the Justice League is through an email. Like what? Like who even?
PowerPoint presentation.
How do you fuck up that? Like, who thinks of that? Like, honestly, like, who thinks of that?
Zachary J. Snyder. I don't know if Jay's his middle name.
Zachary Johnson Snyder. We love him on this podcast. We'd love to have him on. We'd love to have him on.
Okay.
Discuss his vision.
Who's like your dream guest for the podcast? Like, who would you actually want to bring on?
Honestly, just saying Zack Snyder, that's kind of a big one for me. But I don't know.
I think it'd be cool to pick Zach's brain and like, because obviously I rip on him now, but I wouldn't rip on him if I had him on the podcast. I would genuinely want to know like the motivation behind a lot of his decisions in the film. I don't know, that'd be interesting.
I think so too. I would want to bring on like people who have made questionable decisions. And we can just kind of interview them and pick them apart slowly. Like, let's have George Lucas on. And let's have him reflect on his career.
Because he doesn't do interviews a lot. That would actually be very interesting.
Wouldn't that be good? And we're like, George, we grew up with your prequels and we were brainwashed into liking them. What do you have to say for yourself? No, I'm just kidding. Some people like the prequels.
My favorite George Lucas quote is where he's like, I may have gone too far in a few places. Like immediately after watching his own film. That's such a good line.
Documentary about the Phantom Menace is so good. I think
it's
just on YouTube. I think it's just on YouTube. Like anybody can just watch it, but it's just like an hour. And it's so good because it's kind of like fun if you're into like behind the scenes on movies, and it's like Star Wars, so it's a big production, but it's also fascinating to see George Lucas and his mind at work. Like the dude has a very interesting creative process. I'll say that much.
You know,
intelligent man.
Who would also be great to have on?
Who?
Peter Jackson for The Hobbit.
Oh yes! My god.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
You know what? I used to joke about it in high school. I used to always say, like, if I ever made a YouTube channel, I would immediately make videos on The Hobbit. I think I genuinely need to do that now.
Yeah.
I think I need to make video essays detailing why I like so vehemently despise The Hobbit.
I don't think it's been done very much.
I think Lindsay Ellis did a very good job of it, explaining why the movies ended up the way they were, like the studio interference. And that's great and all, but sometimes I just like to make videos, even if it's been done before, because I haven't said it before, and that makes me feel heard.
Right.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like,
and just rip it apart. Like, I don't think I've heard anybody just rip apart the Hobbit movies. Just, then they deserve it. They deserve to be shredded to pieces. Like, those movies are terrible.
Someone listened to our podcast recently and messaged me and said, like, wow, you guys really hate The Hobbit. And I went back and listened to our first podcast, and we took like an hour to discuss how bad The Hobbit was. Like, we really tore into that one.
I don't think it's that, like, as bad as we... Oh, gosh. I have to see them again. Like, I'm not going to make any... I remember the bad parts, that's the thing. But there's probably also a good amount of good stuff in there, right?
Each do a movie. Like, each take one of the trilogy and like just either rip it a new one or like, say what we think on it. That'd be really interesting.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to. I think
That's
the
not a bad
third
idea.
one would probably be the worst.
The third one is
Yeah.
so
I think this.
bad.
What was better in your the first or the second?
The first is my favorite of the trilogy.
I think I might like the second.
Yeah,
maybe?
I don't even remember what really happens in the first.
I don't really remember the first.
The second I remember because that was all about smog, right? Yeah. Oh, dude, the smog scene is actually so good.
Oh yeah,
Like not the golden part, right?
the gold part looks really bad.
But
where they melt the gold.
where
on
he's
him
like
and it,
he's
looks
like
terrible.
it's like
the riddle part, where he's like they're speaking back and forth. I love that scene still.
that scene's actually.
So I think
really
there's
good.
still like good parts of it, but
Well, it's like
Yeah.
any movie. I can find good in any movie. I recently watched. I've been very bored lately, and I played through Pikmin, which is actually really fun. I played through Grand Theft Auto 5. I played through Red Dead Redemption
Nice.
2, and then I watched 3 anime. And one of the shows I
Nice.
watched was Kill la
Nice.
Kill. It's something I've always wanted to watch because of the art style. Turns out that is like the horniest show in the world. I almost couldn't watch it. It was constant
Almost.
well, yeah, I finished it.
I
I'll
got
defend
through it.
myself.
I
Have
got
you seen
through
it,
it.
Pat? You know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't know what you're talking about. I've never
It
seen
is
that.
constant upskirts.
Oh,
It's like this girl, and I'm gonna explain this and sound like a predator, so hear me out. The plot of the show is she has like a sailor outfit that she wears, and then it transforms into like a different outfit that exposes her body a lot, and then she fights people. Yeah, and I watched it initially because the art style. It was by a studio that I know has like a very distinct style of animation, and I really like the art and like the color in the show, like the decision, like how they use color is fascinating. It's super interesting, very bold. And then after that, it was pretty much just like porn. So I just watched it on mute. It's really gross. I felt like a
You just
scumbag.
watched it in complete silence.
I just had it playing in the background.
Oh, okay.
oh wow.
And look up
What were the other
occasionally
two
into,
that
like-
you watched?
I watched them with you actually. I watched
Did you finish? What's it called?
Evangelion, or is it Jellion?
I don't know. You finished it though?
I did. You've seen it too, Teddy.
I've seen it.
Okay, let's all give our thoughts on this.
Sure. All right.
Who wants to go first?
All right, good talk. What was the other one you watched, Anthony?
Oh, I also watched Devilman Crybaby.
Oh, I saw that with you. Yeah, I hated that show actually.
Did you
Not a
really?
fan. I did
I
not
liked
like
it.
it. It was so weird.
That's what I kind of liked about it. Okay, so Evangelion. So I'll start off by saying this. It's touted as like the greatest anime of all time. I
Yeah.
disagree with that sentiment.
I don't agree with that at all.
but I liked it.
I would hope not.
I hope I hope that's not the best they have to offer.
Well, I can even just think of some that I thought were better. I think most people would agree too.
I think
I just haven't seen
Yeah.
very many anime. The only one that I've seen fully was season 1 of Attack on Titan, and that was in
classic.
middle school. And then
Mhm.
all of Evangelion, however you say it. But I saw all of that, and that's it. That's my anime experience.
So Evangelion came out at a time when anime was still like cell painted, and I love that art style. I think it's fantastic.
It does
Um,
look good. I
It
really like
looks
the way
so
it looks.
good. It's an incredible looking show, but it also does this really cool thing where it expects you to know the lore without explaining the lore to you. So you'll go in.
That is definitely the most like common criticism, which I think is valid. Of the show.
Yeah. Well, they're like, oh, we've got these IP fields. And it's like, what is that? And it's like, oh, all living humans
yeah.
have an IP field. It like protects you from. They don't explain it. You have to look it up on the Wikipedia. I watched a video. I watched Evangelion and thought that was kind of okay. And then watched a video explaining Evangelion and then said, that was actually pretty okay. Like, that was good.
Yeah, I think
Maybe
learning
I
about
should've
like the
done that.
actual mythos makes it
The
better.
lore.
Because because like then you kind of appreciate stuff more.
Yeah.
See,
But yeah, some stuff is just really confusing.
well, here, dude. Well, okay, so I would be constantly because Blake showed me this show.
Oh yeah. Shout out to iWiFi.
And-
Go follow him on
yeah.
Twitch.
Thanks, iWiFi, for showing me this awesome show. But I would just be constantly confused. But
Yeah.
Blake wouldn't explain anything to me. He would kind of do it, but I would ask. I'd be like, so what is that? He's like, oh, just hold on, like they'll explain it. Like just hold on a sec. And I don't think they ever did. I don't think they ever explained anything that I wanted to know. And like I was kind of at one point just like a little bit too afraid to ask Blake because I was like, am I the dumb one? Like, have I not been keeping up? I don't want to have to backtrack or anything. Like, I guess I should just figure it out. And I never did. So I never understood that the IP fields or whatever they are. Was that when they like was that when they I can't even remember what those were.
They turn into like orange jello, like sap.
Yeah.
What?
At the end.
In the
At
movie.
the end?
Yeah.
Was that what that was?
Yes.
What are you talking about? I'm so confused.
When they all turned to like jello at the end, when like the second or third or fourth coming or whichever coming it is, when like they all explode into orange. That's
Speaking of coming.
Did that even happen in like did that happen in the show or was that in the movie? I don't even remember.
That must have been in the movie.
It's in the movie, yeah. It's like
Yeah.
Because I thought like the ending of the show like didn't like actually end, right? I don't even remember what happens at the end of it.
Yeah, Blake skipped the last two episodes. Or like he asked me, he was like, do you want to watch the last two episodes and then the movie? I was like, nah, we can just watch the movie.
Don't watch the last two because
they're weird. I did watch them and I thought they were really interesting, but they were not episodes, I would say. Those felt like bonus discs.
Really?
It like explores the psyche of each character and that was weird. Like it gave like the characters motivations for the entire show. And it's like, this would have been cool like 10 episodes ago so I can relate to these characters. Because now I understand why Shinji was such like a whiny kid. Now that I understand his story, but this would have been cool to know a while back.
Did we ever find out why that German girl is just such an asshole the entire time?
Yeah, we do. I think
Okay.
her mom like hung herself and tried to kill the kid as well, the German girl. And then like her dad left her or something. And so I think her whole shtick was she wanted to be the best because she wanted to be like independent, like she could take care of herself. She didn't need anybody. But in reality, she like needed her mother and her parents. She needed like affirmation. And that was kind of her fighting that like, no, I just need myself. You guys all suck. We're getting close, but I hate you because I don't need you. But they waited so long to tell me that it was so hard to like, it was hard to like her. It's like, you're just really mean.
That was kind of my problem. That was my problem with a lot of the characters is like, they were very like, not understandable. Like they just did things that I did, and I didn't know why they were doing it or like why they had the motivation to do certain things. It was just kind of like, okay, I guess they're doing that now. You know?
Yeah, no, that's a very valid criticism.
Just interesting, like weird. Yeah, that was a fun experience. I gotta say, like I went over to his house probably like once a week. We'd watch like 2 or 3 episodes. It was brutal, dude. Just because I didn't understand it, like, at all. That was brutal. Yeah. I was like, I don't get it. Like, I don't get it. I feel like an idiot, but I just don't get what's going on. That was like the first time I think I've been genuinely dumbfounded watching something. Where I just, like, I couldn't say it was bad or, like, that I hated it, because I actually liked a lot of it, but I just didn't understand it.
No, I agree. Yeah. I was in the same boat.
That's fun. But now I just got to look into the lore. It'll be all good.
It's interesting. I also watched it with Blake, and he did the same thing of like, no, I can't say.
Yeah. There were certain things I wanted to, because I was there with Anthony, and like Anthony would ask something, and then he would look at me and Blake, and I was like, "Can I tell him that?" And then Blake would be like, "No, can't."
Yeah, Blake
Can't
Blake
tell him
really
that.
wanted us to experience it like the pure way, which I get.
Yeah. I think it was to my detriment, to be honest.
Pat, do you want to tell the story about the video game store thing?
Oh, the thing you don't even know?
Yeah, the thing I don't even know. Yeah.
Well, yeah, me, Wi-Fi, right? Blake, and Anthony. When was this? This is pretty recent, right? This is like
That was the day that we watched Evangelion. We'd gone to like a retro games store.
so it was like a month ago or something, right? Or
yeah,
a couple
yeah.
weeks, like 3 weeks ago, and yeah, because it was like the week before. Yeah, we went to like this retro game store. I think we went to two, right? We went to two different ones.
Went to a couple.
And we went to one. We were looking at games, and Anthony was like looking at. We were all together in the store.
Yeah, but
we
I
were
was
near
looking
the
at
entrance.
PS2 games.
And he was looking at PS2 games, and like these two like I don't even know what you call them. People in suits came in, and like they went to the counter and they talked to the guy, and they're like, yeah, can we speak to your manager or whoever owns this place?" And the guy was like, "Oh yeah, what for?" And he's like, "Oh, for the new law passed in Congress." And then the guy was like, "Oh, he's not here though. We can't reach him." And then they just left.
Well, the guy said we haven't reached him in weeks. We haven't heard from him in weeks.
And me and Blake were the only ones that had heard this. Like Anthony didn't hear this, and then after we were trying to like, we told Anthony about this, and he was like, "Oh, I didn't hear this," and he thought we were like trying to like gaslight him.
I thought you were gaslighting me. They got in the car, and Blake was like, "That was kind of weird when those two guys in suits came in and started talking about Congress." And I was like, "Stop, that's not funny." He's like, "No, really." And I thought you guys were messing with me, but this really happened.
Oh my god, that's fucking weird. That's like
I don't know what it was about.
Like what
Oh my
bill?
God. Like the
what was
excuse-
passed in Congress?
The excuse that or I don't even know if it was an excuse, if it was real. They were like, "Oh yeah, the new bill in Congress." Like that's something you would make up on the top of your head, right?
They're like, "Oh, we gotta talk
Like,
to
that,
him
that
about
can't be real, right? Like that can't be
Congress, the new bill."
Were you about to see like a fucking like assassination? Like somebody was about to get taken
No, I think
out?
they were actually like government people, but I think that they were like after him for different reasons than.
That's really funny that's the best that they could come up with.
Yeah, it felt really
The
weird.
new gamer law that passed in Congress.
Banned from America.
You gotta shut down the store immediately.
That would cause an uprising.
There definitely
The gamers
would be.
versus the non-gamers.
United Gamers of America. That'd be the new.
I'm glad you liked it, bro. Pikmin, you gotta play Pikmin 2 now, dude. That's where things get nuts.
I won't lie. I shelled out $60 for Pikmin.
It's expensive. I tried to
That's
find
a hefty
it
price.
like earlier this year, and I couldn't find it for anything less than 60.
Why is it so expensive?
GameCube games are considered nostalgic now, and the GameCube wasn't like a fantastic selling console. Had a voice crack console, and so I'll just edit that out in post. Let me retry that line. The GameCube wasn't a fantastic selling console, and so it's hard to find. Like copies are kind of rare, and they have a lot of sentimental value to them, so they're just pricey.
Yeah. I've got a Pikmin.
But I'd love to get
disc.
Pikmin 2. I'd love to play it. Well, I'll play it on the channel. I'll stream it. Pikmin 2 stream.
That's a good idea.
I'd be down for
Hundreds
that.
of people would come watch.
Yeah, because I'm the only guy streaming Pikmin 2 in 2021.
What did you think of your Red Dead 2 replay?
I'm growing fonder and fonder of that game. I really do like it.
I think that's kind of how it goes with that game. Like, if you don't love it the first time you play through it, then I think you kind of have to slowly like learn to like it.
Yeah.
You know? And so, well, I'm glad you kind of like it now. Because
I really enjoy it. I'd give it like a 7. Like, I really like it.
Yeah, but the flaws of that game are so bad. Like,
That's true. The cover system's busted. But I mean, the
it's
cover
so
system
busted.
also sucks.
I don't even use it.
I don't either. I just go out and fire.
That's yeah, like that's the best way to do it. Is you just literally walk into the middle and you're just firing at everybody. You just don't even use the cover.
But the cover system's also bad in Grand Theft Auto 5.
Yeah, it's kind of not that good in those games. But I think that for me, I kind of like that the cover system isn't very like, what's the word, like,
Good.
perfected. It's like not, yeah, it's not that good. It's kind of like, I especially get that feeling in GTA 4 where it's kind of where it's like a little bit tough to like win a gunfight. And I kind of prefer that where it's like a little bit like the gun is a little bit out of control type of deal.
Oh,
and I'm
you think,
hoping
like,
if they
more
make
challenge?
like GTA 4, I think feels like the most challenging, but yet it's not at all because you can get shot like 100,000 times and be fine. And GTA 5 is like you get shot like 5 times and you're dead, but you're also a one-man army and you gun down everybody you see, like no problem, you know? So I kind of want like the next GTA, I want them to meet in the middle. Give me a little bit more challenge, you know?
That would be kind of nice.
I don't know, dude. I don't even know if they're gonna make like another GTA because they make
GTA
so much
5
money.
makes so much money.
Yeah,
Yes,
and
they're so
they
rich
make
from
so
it.
much from GTA Online, and I don't think they make that much from Red Dead 2 Online, but they're pushing it. They're trying to.
They
again.
I doubt they'll make anything from it. It's just not as
They're
popular.
like, hey, come buy it. It's $5. Red Dead Online, come buy it. It's $5. It's like, no, nobody's gonna buy that. Like, if anything, people are gonna buy Red Dead 2, not Red Dead Online for $5.
Although I have such fun, I'm sure we've told this on the podcast, but back when we were in middle school, we used to play tons of Red Dead Online, and we would just go out into the forest. Our friend Noah convinced us that Bigfoot was in Red Dead Redemption. He's not. We were so sure of it. And we used to go out into like the tall trees areas in the map and sit around a campfire at night in an Xbox Live party telling ghost stories over our horrible headset mics, waiting for Bigfoot to show up. He never did. But those are some of my
No, he never
fondest
did.
memories. Like, I loved that so much.
And that's all we wanted from Red Dead Online, like from the newest one.
Oh, yeah.
Because the OG is like, dude, it's so simple. It's barely anything. It's like, just get in a game. Like, just we'll put you in the map and just you figure it out. And it's like, if you go over here, you can maybe do like a gun fight challenge or whatever, but like mostly just do whatever the fuck you want. But Red Dead Online,
make your own fun.
You did, and that was kind of, I think, the fun of it. But in Red Dead 2, bro, like, I don't know what the difference is, but there's a difference, you know?
I feel
there's
that.
Just like, it funnels you. It makes you, it forces you to feel like you have to grind to like achieve a kind of fun.
Well, and didn't they try to input like an economy? Wasn't there like a in-game economy?
Yes.
That's so weird.
And I remember when Red Dead Online first came out, like all the guns and everything you needed were like marked up like 100% from what they were in the single player, and then the money you received from missions was marked down by like 500%. Dude, I remember getting like 12 cents for doing a 30-minute long mission when it first came out, and I was like, okay, Rockstar, that's bad. And I like never picked it up until they fixed that. But that was
why was it like that? Why was it so bad?
Because they wanted to make people grind.
Well, because even in the beta, like before it was even officially released, I remember it was so bad like that. And I think I was like playing with Kevin or something. I was like, dude, this economy fucking blows. Like, this sucks. Like, the economy these days is just terrible. And he was like, yeah, like, I just bought some gold and it's helped a lot. I was like, gold, you can buy gold? He's like, yeah, it's like a second currency. Like, you can buy it. And so I checked out the menu for the gold, bro. It was like right in your face. Like it was like it wanted you to buy all this type of fucking gold currency that was separate from the regular money that you earned. So
like real
I think,
USD, like you had to spend money on
yes,
gold. That
yeah.
sucks. That's just
And
classic. That's cock gems.
And I don't think you earned it in game. I think they added it in later. I think you could earn it in game, but in the beta, dude, you couldn't earn it in game. So I was like, "What is this bullshit?"
So it was
and
just
I think
a mess,
most people, I think most people were like that, and I think they fixed it. But still, the damage was done. Like, not very many people play that shit, and I don't think anybody like will.
Yeah, you can't really get away with like doing predatory microtransactions these days.
No,
Like, you
you
see what happened to Battlefront, dude.
Battlefront
Yeah,
was
that's
so
true.
bad.
The thing is like you can. It's
I think
just you
certain
have to
games
like invent
get away
new
with
ways.
I don't know how to. Yeah,
you have to be sneakier about it.
That I wrote a video essay just the other day. I finished the script for it, and I talk about that, like the evolution of microtransactions.
That's a good video, bro. I love that idea.
Just get rid of them.
I
get
hate
them out
them.
of
They're
here.
so